All right, guys, if you've been watching this channel, you knew that I said that I wasn't done, right? When I got my 5080, that wasn't it. I was still going to try to get myself a 5090. And the way I got this one, quite interesting, right? So let's go ahead and unbox it, and I'll tell you guys what happened. And real quick, if any brands have an unboxing knife that you want to send your boy, feel free, because right now I don't have one. So I'm using my trusty, dusty build kit screwdriver with a sharper drill bit on the end to break through some of this plastic. But anyway, so I told you guys that I definitely couldn't leave empty-handed last week when I was camping out for the 5090 and didn't end up getting one because I was number 9 in line and they only had 5. But I stayed diligent, kept my ear to the streets, kept my eyes peeled to make sure that if I were to get one, I could jump right on it. And so I had the idea of, man, just grab the most expensive 5080 you can get your hands on, because that's probably going to have the most value on the trade or resale market, right? This is how I thought about it. And it turns out I was right. And so, you know, I had the Astral for a week, right? Tested it out, showed you guys everything about it. And I could have easily left that day with a cheaper 5080 if I just wanted to keep a 5080, sell my 4080 and pretty much get the free upgrade like I talked about in my last video. But I said, I want to get a 5090. All right, that's what I want. And so I kept my ears to the streets, and I actually had a couple of 4090 Strix, white Strix versions that I could get my hands on. I actually had a couple of those, and I had one lined up the other day to go ahead and get it, because I mean the 4090 still is better than the 5080 slightly, and a white one would just make my build that much cleaner, right? So I was either thinking, okay, see, can you get a Strix white 4090, or can you get a 5080? So I had a 4090 lined up, guys. I had one ready to go, but the guy that I was dealing with, I don't know, man, he seemed very nonchalant about it. Like he wasn't really tripping off of making the sale for real. He also said he wanted to get a 5090, and so he was gonna, you know, sell his 4090 and use the money to get a 5090. And I'm thinking to myself, shoot, good luck with that. The 5090s are probably not coming back for a while, right? This is what I was thinking. Lo and behold, MSI, I had totally forgot that they were pushing back their launch until the 7th. And so Micro Center got another drop of the MSI. Let me see if I can put this on camera. The MSI 5090s, right? Micro Center got another drop of those. And I just totally blanked on it, guys. So I had all intentions on getting Strix 4090 yesterday, right? This is what I had lined up. But again, the guy was kind of procrastinating. So I'm looking for backup plans. And as I'm looking for backup plans on the marketplace, I end up running past a MSI 5090 for sale. End up running past one, and it's like $4,500 or best offer. And I read the description, and the guy that's selling it basically says, hey, I can't afford this, but I bought it because I was camping for a 5080 and they didn't have any, right? This is what he's saying in his description. And I'm like, whoa, I got a 5080, right? And he's basically saying he'll take any serious offers of either a trade-in or, you know, just, I think he said like $3,600 or above, right? Which is pretty much a little bit more than what he paid, but he wasn't trying to like scalp. Like he could have taken this and scalped it. If you guys check right now on eBay for like $5 to $6 grand, right? But he was just trying to get his, you know, close to MSRP 5080 and be about his way. So he made the smart decision as well to not go home empty-handed, right? You're already in line. You camp for the spot, right? That spot is valuable. Don't go home empty-handed. Get something that you can then use on the barter system later and get what you want, which is what I was doing. That's what he was doing. And so I was able to break through what I'm sure had to be, you know, dozens, if not hundreds of messages from other people to get his attention. And I'm like, yo, I got an Astral 5080 right now, plus cash, whatever we got to do to make this happen. Let me know. I'll take the Astral back. Get all cash if you want. However you want to do it, let me know, right? I'm taking a shot in the dark. I don't know if this is actually gonna work or not, but like I said, I'm taking that shot in the dark. Let's see what else is in here. Doesn't look like very much. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but I'm trying to see. And he actually responds and he's like, yo, I got a lot of people messaging me, but I like what you're talking about. If you can show me proof that you have the 5080 and the money, we can make this happen. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got proof. So I showed him, you know, some photos and then showed him the money. Speaking of the money, I didn't actually have the money right then and there, right? But I had already conversed with one of my good friends, his name is Corey, about basically making sure that if I found a deal that I could go ahead and knock it out before I sold my 5080. Because at the end of the day, like, I knew that I had at least $2,000, or really at least 1,700 back on the 5080, but more than likely $2,000 because that's how much they were selling for. And so my boy Corey was like, yeah, man, I got you. At first he kind of was like, what? You need to borrow $2,000? And he's like, when do you need it? Right? That's my guy, Corey. I love him to death. And so he was basically like, yeah, I got you. So I knew at the least I was going to be able to get that 4090. And when this deal kind of presented itself, I then brought back to Corey the information like, yo, you know, I can get a 5090 now. It'll take me a little bit longer to get you the money back, but we can make this shake, man. And of course, him being the awesome person that he is, he was like, yeah, no problem, bro. And so I hit my guy Mike, that's the guy who did the trade with me back. I was like, hey man, we can make this happen. I can meet you at Micro Center. We can transfer the warranties, however you want to do it. And long story short, guys, that's exactly what happened. I met him at Micro Center, great guy. We were able to go through and like, shout out to Micro Center, because nowhere else can you buy something and then come back and like transfer your purchase, your ownership of it to somebody else's account there, and then like add a warranty. Like, thanks Micro Center, first of all. It's not sponsored, but thank you. But we were able to make it out to where he got my 5080, I got his 5090 plus the warranty, added the warranty to his. I gave him that plus cash. Basically, like, guys, when I tell you he looked out, he could have scalped this thing for $5,000 at the minimum, right? And he basically sold it to me at cost, right? 5080 plus the difference. Look, I sprinkled on a little extra, right? Made it worth his while because he did have a drive, but like, bruh, he could have gotten way more than that for this. So again, shout out to him, because man, that was just dope, right? And so now we got a 5090, boys. We got a 5090, and now I ain't gonna lie, it was very hard of me to like not consider what I could make back by selling this. I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it, right? You're watching them on eBay go for $6,000, $7,000. But then I'm like, man, yes, the only other thing I would want would be a white one, and I've yet to see that. Like, I've yet to see a white 5090 in the wild anywhere, because people, the 3 people that have one are probably like, nah, I'm keeping it, right? So I've yet to see that. And so the money is not going to replace being one of the few people that have these, being able to bring you guys the content about it, being able to do everything it is I want to do with a 5090, right? Who knows when a white one's going to be available to me? And so my thought pattern behind it is, well, you know what? I got this one. And at the very least, if Micro Center releases a white version in the next 30 days, I can just take this back and swap it out, right? I can just swap it out and get it. So we're going to put this in the build, guys. Hopefully the driver issues that I've been hearing about, hopefully those driver issues are not a big deal, and I don't end up with a black screen and a break 5090, but we got one. And so also I noticed today that I went over 2,000 subscribers, and I want to say thank you guys for that. I very much appreciate it. I understand that this channel would not be growing without you guys watching me. And I really appreciate that. I'm gonna keep trying to bring you content that you want to see. We're gonna try and get our hands on a 9070 XT. We're gonna try to get our hands on one of the 5070 or 5070 Ti versions, just to bring more. You know, bro, I don't want this to just be about the best of the best GPUs, right? We can bring some mid ranges out there. We can bring some deals. And if the 5060 comes out, it's rumored to have 16 gigabytes on both models. We'll talk about that and probably in another video. But we're gonna try to keep bringing you guys more and more, right? I got a couple sponsorship offers, some that I'm like, but others that are very interesting, right? Like that actually go with the flow of the channel and what I want to bring to you guys. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you guys so much. If you've clicked any of the links in the description to buy some things, you guys are so amazing. Like, I appreciate it so much. Like, thank you guys. That's all I really wanted to say. As always, drop in the comments your thoughts about this, what you think about, you know, how the whole deal went down. Am I like one of the luckiest people in the world, right? If I wasn't on Facebook at that exact moment, because the guy that was trying to sell me the 4090 was like ignoring me basically, or just kind of like pushing it down the road, this wouldn't have happened, right? Somebody else would have got a hold of Mike first and he probably would have took the deal, right? Because he was ready to get his 5080 and just be done with it. So I might just be one of the, I'm not like, you know, super religious or superstitious, but it just felt like this was meant to happen. We both camped and didn't get what we want, but we didn't go home empty handed. And then we were able to get what we wanted at the right price that we wanted, right? So shout out to Mike, shout out to Corey, shout out to y'all, shout out to the future sponsors of this channel, because this is going to be amazing. Check the links in the description if you want to help your boy out at no extra cost to you. And as always, one love.